Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Now, if you've ever wondered how to elevate your podcasting or streaming audio and workflow, you're in the right place. Because today I'm doing a deep dive into the Maonocaster AMC2 NEO. It's a new audio console for podcasting and streaming. We'll be unboxing, setting up, and testing its features to see if it truly lives up to the hype. So whether you're a podcast enthusiast or a streamer looking for a quality audio setup that won't break the bank, stick around and let's check out the new Maonocaster. Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com, and like I said, we're going to be checking out the new Maonocaster AMC2 NEO. We're going to be taking a deep dive, checking out the specs, and setting it up. But real quick, before we get started, if you get any value out of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Doing so helps me keep this channel going and growing, and it also allows you to stay up to date with all the videos that come out in the future. But either way, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let's check this thing out and see what it can do. Okay, first off, I want to thank Maono for sending me this Maonocaster AMC2 NEO. I'll put a link to it in the video description below, but you can get your hands on this model for only $59.99. And taking a closer look at what comes in the box, first we have the user manual and a quick start guide. I highly recommend checking both of these out before you use your Maonocaster. There's a lot of good info in here that will just help you get started. Next, we have some cables, and this comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable and a 3.5mm cable. The USB-C cable is used for connecting to a computer, and the 3.5mm cable is for auxiliary inputs or streaming outputs, but either way, these are the cables that come with it. Next, we have the Maonocaster itself. It has a compact yet professional build quality, and I love the look and feel to it. Plus, when you turn it on, as you'll see in a few moments, you get some really awesome LED lights. Overall, I was really impressed with it visually. Okay, so that's what comes in the box. Next, for my personal Maonocaster AMC2 NEO setup, I'm using it as a podcasting console. This can also be used for live streaming or even live events, but for my needs and for the purpose of this video review, I'm using it as a podcaster. So my setup includes the Maonocaster, my microphone, which is a Maono PD100 XLR dynamic microphone. Then I also have some Audio-Tech headphones that I'll use for monitoring my sound levels. And then I'll run everything through my MacBook Pro that I'm connected to with a USB-C cable and an adapter, since the cable that came with the Maonocaster was USB-C to USB-A. And then finally, I'm recording this on GarageBand, which is serving as my DAW. Next, let's take a closer look at the Maonocaster AMC2 NEO and go over how everything works, starting with the back of the unit. You'll see the various ports. On the right, we have the microphone interface where you can connect either an XLR microphone or a TRS 1/4-inch cable. I'm using my Maono PD100 XLR dynamic microphone, so I've plugged in the XLR cable in that port. But again, this is a combo microphone interface that lets you use an XLR or TRS 1/4-inch cable. Next, we have the auxiliary port, and this port allows you to connect external audio sources or playback devices through an audio cable for easy playback or background music during live recordings, or when you want to record audio through an auxiliary audio cable. You can do so through this port. Moving on to the headphones port, and this is pretty self-explanatory, but this is where you can plug in headphones if you'd like, and it supports both mobile TRRS plugs and studio headphone TRS plugs. Next is the line out port, and this is a 3.5mm interface for streaming out to a mobile device. So when connected to a streaming phone, let's say, the audio is transmitted through the connected 3.5mm cable in this port. Next to that is the USB-C port, and I currently have my MacBook Pro plugged into this port, and I'm using it for my audio communication, meaning the audio from the Maonocaster is going through this cable and into my computer, where I'm recording it using my DAW, which is GarageBand. Then directly next to that is another USB-C port, but this is used strictly for charging. So if I'm running low on battery life, I'll just switch this cable over to this port and charge through my MacBook Pro. But please note that you'll want to charge before using the Maonocaster. Finally, we have the power button, and pressing this turns the Maonocaster on and off. Pretty simple. And that's going to do it for the ports and the back of the Maonocaster. So next, let's move on and check out the front of the unit and see how everything works. Okay, taking a closer look at the control panel of the Maonocaster, let's go over the layout and talk about the features. Starting in the upper right corner, you have a couple of LED lights. The first is the battery light, which dictates the battery level and represented by these 4 lights. Now I only have 3 lit up at the moment, but when all 4 are lit up, that means you have 100% battery life. 3 lights is 75%, 2 is 50, and when 1 light is on, that means it's only got 25% battery life and it's time to recharge. And speaking of that, when you need to recharge the battery, just unplug from the USB-C port and plug into the DC5V port. And when you do, you'll see the battery lights start to blink and that little red light will come on as well. I should also mention that I'm currently plugged in to my MacBook Pro. So the cool thing about this is that I'm actually using my MacBook Pro to charge the Maonocaster. But then when I'm done charging, I just unplug and plug back in to the USB-C port on the back of the unit like so. All right, moving on to the next LED display, which is the Bluetooth indicator, and it's currently on and connected to my phone because the blue light is staying on. Additionally, you could turn the Bluetooth on and off with this button here marked BT, and then turning it on and off puts it in pairing mode. And once it finds my device, it automatically connects to my iPhone. And this will come in handy when I want to use the music and sound effects from my iPhone, which we'll go over in just a bit. Next, let's go over the knobs, starting with the gain located in the far left side of the unit. This gives you the ability to control your microphone gain. And as you can hear, turning it left allows me to change the amount of environmental noise being recorded. And there we go. I like that level. Then directly below that, we have the volume fader. This lets you control the volume of the microphone. Again, moving it up and down will affect the volume of the mic. And as I talk, you'll notice the level meter lighting up and going down. As I talk, you can hear it come through, and you see the levels on the right-hand side. Green is good, orange is acceptable, and red is bad. But I recommend trying to aim for an audio level that is within the green. And there we go. All right, moving on to the next knob, which is the auxiliary knob, also called the accompaniment volume knob. And this controls the volume of your inputs from either the USB-C or auxiliary ports on the back here. Whatever you have connected via Bluetooth as well will be controlled by this auxiliary volume. And we'll go over that in just a few moments. This will allow me to control the volume of the music coming from my iPhone that is connected via Bluetooth. Next, we have the USB and line output dial, this larger one here towards the middle, and turning this knob left and right lets you control the volume of the audio output from either the 3.5 millimeter stream out output or the USB-C output. So I typically use this if I need to increase the recording volume that's going through my DAW. You see we're getting in the orange there. You see the output dial there, or the levels there towards the right. And we want green. There we go. All right, then the last thing we'll cover before moving on to the buttons is the headphone fader, located right here on the right-hand side. And this is pretty self-explanatory, but sliding this up and down lets you control the volume of the output going to your headphones if you have them plugged in. And also if you have the direct monitoring turned on, which we'll cover in just a few moments. But again, this fader lets you control your headphone volume. Okay, so that's going to do it for the knobs and faders. Next, let's move on to the buttons and go over what each one does. So towards the bottom of the Maonocaster, there are 10 buttons. Each one has a different function and can have a drastic effect on your overall recording. So starting on the left, we'll work our way across the Maonocaster and go over each button function one by one. Okay, so the first button is the 48 volt phantom power button. This is a supply switch and it controls the phantom power going into the XML microphone input, and turning it on will light up the red LED indicator and supply you with phantom power. Now, turning phantom power on will depend on the type of microphone that you're using. In most cases, only XLR condenser microphones require phantom power. If you're not using a condenser microphone but a dynamic microphone like I am, you'll want to keep phantom power turned off. And using phantom power on mics that don't require it could damage the mic. So make sure you know what type of mic you're using before you turn this on. Okay, next we have the BT button, which stands for Bluetooth, and turning this on and off will actively search for and connect to paired devices. which right now it's currently on and connected. So you can see the button and LED indicator is blue, and they're both turned on and staying on, which means that it is connected to my iPhone. And I don't know if you could see here, but when I go into my settings and open up the Bluetooth, it is currently connected to the Maonocaster AMC2 NEO. And again, this is great for whenever we use background music or intro music or any type of sounds, music, whatever that you have coming from your phone. You could easily do that through the Bluetooth connection. And again, we'll go over that in just a few moments. Okay, moving on to the next button, which are the Reverb Presets. And this function has 6 preset reverb effects, and pressing this button will let you cycle through the different presets to enhance and change the reverb of your recording. And let me show you what I mean. So you can hear what each one sounds like. Okay, so we're currently using the default setting, which is just my regular voice, but then clicking the button once changes not only the reverb setting, but the button color. So here we have karaoke setting. You can definitely hear the difference in reverb. And then clicking it again, this is the church reverb. And I should also add that as you switch each reverb preset, there's a voice prompt that comes through the headphones telling you what each setting is. All right, next, reverb. Click the button. This is the hall reverb. Pretty cool. And then moving on to, this is the valley. This is a little deeper reverb. Sounds very, very echoey. And then I think there's one more. All right, and this is the room reverb. Sounds like nice natural reverb in a large room. And then one more time. And this brings us back to the original. And that's the reverb function. All right, next is the sidechain. And this function automatically lowers the volume of background music when you start talking. This can come in handy for intro music or live broadcasts and your podcasts. And let me show you how this works. So it has a few different settings. The first is sidechain on and music off. And this is what you'd use if you have music playing, but you want your voice to be highlighted. So let me turn the sidechain on, and you'll do that with one quick press of the button, and we get this blue LED display. Then I'll turn on some music. And again, this is coming through my iPhone and the Bluetooth connection. And we'll play some music. And then as I begin talking, you can hear the music volume goes down automatically, and it allows my vocals to come through. How cool is that? Again, no need to have a producer or sound engineer to configure your levels. You could do it automatically right here in real time with the touch of one button on the sidechain. Pretty cool. I love that. Then let me turn it off with another quick button press. There we go. The LED display turns off as well. Then there's also a function where you could turn the sidechain off, but have the music only feature on. And what this does is it eliminates the vocal part in the music so that you could maybe sing along or whatnot if you're doing a karaoke. I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Now, I don't have any music with vocals in it for copyright purposes, but as you start playing around with this, you will definitely see the power of the sidechain music on. But let me show you how that works just real quick. So right now the music only is on. Again, you hold the button down for a couple seconds to turn that on, and then press it down for a couple seconds to turn it off. Again, if you want just the sidechain, which will lower the music while you talk, press it one time to turn it off. Then if you want the music only on, which will lower the vocals within the music, hold the button down for 2 seconds. You get the red LED display, and same thing to turn it off. There we go. I know it may seem confusing at first, but once you start using the sidechain and music-only features and see how they work with your audio input, you'll get the hang of it in no time. I should also point out that as you turn these buttons on and off, there is a voice prompt telling you in the headphones what each button does. You can't hear it in this recording, but it's quite helpful when using these buttons. Okay, next we have the direct monitor and loopback button. The direct monitor, which is currently turned on, as you can see with the red LED indicator, allows you to hear your own voice in your headphones as you're recording. If you don't want to hear your voice recorded via microphone, just press the button one time quickly, and that turns the monitoring off. I have my headphones plugged in and I can't hear it right now, but I will turn it back on. The red LED light is on, and that indicates that feature is on. I can also hear myself. Okay, next there is the loopback feature, and to turn this on, just hold the button down for a few seconds, and the LED display will light up purple. And this feature will allow the audio sent to the device via USB to be sent back to the USB controlled connected device. But turning this off can also avoid unwanted echoes, so I'm going to turn it off. But I will keep the direct monitoring on so that I can hear myself and the headphones. All right, moving on to the pitch presets button, and this is fun. This lets you change the pitch of your voice, giving you some creative ways to adjust how your voice sounds. So check this out. Right now, it's just the default, but if we press it one time.
First we have female, changes quite a bit. Next is
male, hello, drops the voice down a little bit. Then we have
baby, goo goo gaga, where's my baba? Okay, I don't know what you would use this for, maybe a comedy podcast or whatnot, but moving on to the next preset.
This one is a robot. Sounds kind of like a monster robot, I don't know, but drops the pitch of your voice pretty low. And then finally,
There we go. Bring us back to the default, which is my normal voice. But again, these are fun ways to play around and have a little, add a little unique enhancement to your recordings. Okay, the next button is the noise reducer. And don't let the name fool you. It doesn't necessarily reduce your main vocal audio recording, but it does reduce the background noise. And the cool thing about this is that it has two different levels. So the first option, which I currently have on, is noise cancellation low. And you can tell that it's on by the red LED indicator. But as you'll hear in a few moments, I'm also running a fan in the background, and this low setting actually does a great job of drowning out the unwanted background noise in this recording. Then pressing the button again turns on the noise cancellation high. And this is useful if you're recording in a live setting where there may be street noise or large audiences, something that would create a lot of ambient background noise. The high setting would be useful in those situations. Then let me turn this off altogether. And you can hear my fan and probably my AC as well running in the background. But check this out. Turning the low noise cancellation feature back on with one button press drowns out the unwanted noise and really enhances my vocal recording while also eliminating a lot of the work I'd have to do in post-production. Pretty cool. So if you know that you're going to be recording in somewhat loud environments, this noise reducer will be your best friend. Okay, finally, we have 3 Soundpad buttons located in the bottom right corner of the unit, and these give you the ability to record 3 custom sounds that last 20 seconds each. And this could be sound effects, songs, beats, sound clips, etc. Anything you want to record via your microphone or inputs, or even your Bluetooth, you could do so by pressing any of these buttons once, and the lights will start slowly blinking, and this means it's in recording mode. And then when you're done recording, you'll press the button again to end it. And let me show you how it works. So I'll press it to put it into recording mode. And then I'll record, "Welcome to the Blog with Ben podcast." And there we go. It has recorded. And this isn't the best example, but you could just see that what it records. I'll press it one time to play it. And then I'll record, "Welcome to the Blog with Ben podcast." See, the timing there wasn't very good. So let's try that again really quick, just for the example. I'm going to make this a good example. So let's say you want to erase this. This is a good example to erase it. So if you want to erase your recording, you'll just hold this down. And it's quickly blinking. That means the recording has been erased. But let's try this again. So I'm just going to, let's say, record a quick intro that you could play every single time to the podcast. And here we go. I'm going to record, so I'll press it one time. "Welcome to the Blog with Ben podcast. I'm your host, Ben Cummings, and today we're going to be discussing how to start a WordPress blog." There we go. And then let's see what this sounds like. "Welcome to the Blog with Ben podcast. I'm your host, Ben Cummings, and today we're going to be discussing how to start a WordPress blog." So that works. And you could play around with these custom sound effects and these Soundpad buttons, and you just press the button that corresponds with whichever one you recorded on. Again, we recorded on A, but you have two more. And then just one more time, whenever you want to erase recording, just hold it down until it quickly starts blinking. And this removes the recording, and you can record and save another sound in that Soundpad button. And again, you have 3 sound pads that you can record and play custom sounds right here from the Maonocaster. All right, so after using the Maonocaster AMC2 NEO and testing out all the features, here are my final thoughts. So first, the build and design of this console are pretty top-notch. It's evident that a lot of thought has gone into its creation, and its compact size is perfect for both beginners and professionals. Whether you're traveling or you're setting up a permanent studio space, this fits right in. The sound quality is great too. For my use case, it captured clear and rich audio, making it perfect for podcasters, streamers, and really any digital creators in between. Plus, you can't beat the price. $59.99, it's a great entry budget-friendly investment, really gets you a lot for your money. So, is the Maonocaster AMC2 NEO worth the investment? In my opinion, yes. It's a versatile, high-quality, and user-friendly device that I believe will truly elevate your audio game. So, if you're serious about your audio and you want a console that not only delivers but excels, and like I said, it won't break the bank, then the AMC2 NEO is a fantastic choice. I highly recommend checking it out. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're thinking about starting a blog, you got to check out my step-by-step tutorials. They'll show you everything you need to know in order to build, grow, and monetize a professional WordPress blog. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.